Hello, internet friends. I'm Ryan, and this is Demos in the Dark. Because this is a demo channel, I try to keep the editorializing to a minimum, but I also feel like it's my duty to point out when something comes through here that I think is truly special, and we are doing one of those tonight. Tonight, we are looking at the new Geckoplex EP-5 version 2 from Gecko pedals. Before we get any further with this, I do want to point out that this white finish on this is a special edition, a first year special edition. And if you get to the website fast enough, you might be able to get one. So pause this, go get it, and then come back. The Geckoplex EP-5 is hands down the most authentic sounding Echoplex style pedal that I have ever played. And I've tried a number of them. I have an EP-3. It's in the shop because it's always in the shop. But there are some great modern features on here as well. First off, it is powered by an ARM Cortex M7 DSP, and that is like over the top for a guitar pedal. It has great motorized delay slide control. It's got an analog FET input preamp gain stage, and that will bring you up to 11 decibels of gain. Has up to 2 seconds of delay time. There's also a sound on sound mode, so you can loop for 40 seconds. Now, new in version 2 is full MIDI control. You can store up to 64 accessible MIDI presets. There's also user selectable off-state output mode, so you can choose whether it is buffered or not. You have a user selectable max delay time of 2 seconds, 1 second, or 650 milliseconds. 650 milliseconds is about where the original EP3 maxes out at. And user selectable sound on sound mode, expression pedal function, so you can change the playback volume, the degradation or playback speed. It has higher headroom before clipping and a lower overall noise floor. It is just a better machine. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna run it down on a mix. I'm gonna run it on everything. Literally everything. Drums, bass, percussion, synth, guitars. Because even if I don't use the delay function of it or the echo function of it, there's still a very nice warmth that comes from the preamp in here that I wanted to take advantage of. So check that out and then come on back here and we will go through some sound samples of the new EP-5 version 2 all by its lonesome. take a deeper dive into the EP-5 version 2 from Gecko pedals. Let's actually start by looking at the top here, and we can look at some of our I/O options. We have MIDI in and out here. We have an expression in there, and then we have our input, and then we have a dry out and a wet out. On the front here, we have a gain, and this adjusts the preamp gain of the input signal from the in jack. And then we have a level meter next to that. Up top, we have the delay slider, and this adjusts the delay time between echoes. On turns the effect on and off. This is also what you use to go to the sound on sound setting. Next to that, we have the preset selector. You can store 3 presets on the unit itself, up to 64 if you use a MIDI controller. We have trail selection. We have subdivision selection. Up top, we have a volume. This is the output volume of the echoes themselves. Then we have a repeats here. This is how much the echoes are going to repeat. The little black marker there indicates at which point the pedal goes into self-oscillation. Then we have a tone control. Again, the black marker marks kind of what is going to be somewhat flat. And then if you go left, you will get darker. And if you go right, you will get brighter. We have a reverb here. This adds a reverberation effect. Then we have a warp. This controls how tape-like the echoes are. Let's say how degraded the tape is. This is really a fun part of this effect. And then we come to the shift, and the shift is a very unique control. It controls how much delay shift is applied when a note is played. This unique effect mimics the user shifting the delay slider back and forth at the same time that the note is played, causing the echoes to shift in pitch down or back up, back down, depending on the knob selection. As I mentioned earlier, there is a sound on sound setting, and if you hold down the on button for 2 seconds, that will bring you into that, and you can then loop for 40 seconds, but you can also have some control over that loop with an expression pedal like playback speed, loop degradation, and other really, really fun stuff. All right, tonight I am running a Scythe Guitars OH19 into a Benson Amps Monarch reverb, and that sounds like this. Let's turn some knobs, make some sounds. In addition to being a really, really great sounding delay, a really, really great sounding preamp, there's also a looper built into here. So if you turn the pedal on, and then you hold the on button, all right, so that was just a very brief look at some of the things that you can do with the EP-5. Again, I can't stress this enough. It's a really great pedal. It's not a cheap pedal, it's an investment. But it's an investment that if you are a fan of the Echoplex sound, it's one that you will very happily pay. And I'm just a massive fan of this pedal. I think it's really extraordinary. So thank you for sending this over for me to check out, Riley, and thank you for your time.